All right. Gotta make sure this is plugged in. Today we're gonna see what's going on with this here computer. Just picked it up from the mechanic shop. Says he's getting some weird errors on it. It's a P4, Veteran 4. She's an oldie. Optiplex GX620. I like to play some music while I'm doing this kind of stuff here. Let's move the link phone. It's been a little bit. It's been a while since I've done this here, so. Got a dual workstation. Gives me the laptop and the 2 screens for the laptop. Alright, so I haven't done anything. Let's just recreate what happens. Okay, money signs. Wow. Alright. So, Control delete maybe. Keyboard isn't functioning. You would see a light here, and that works. Well, that's not good. It's obviously been turned off and turned back on again multiple times, because that's all they know how to do here. So let's put that back up. Oh, sorry. Put that out of my way here. Alright. So my next question, always take out the power supply when you're not going to be using it. My next question is going to be, how do our internal parts look? So I'll just unplug everything. Okay. Take this guy out, set it inside. Do as I say, not as I do. You should have a strap on your wrists to prevent static discharge onto the machine. So, seems everything looks like it's plugged in. So we're plugged in there. Good there. One of the things I would like to do is remove the CMOS battery. I don't have anything right now. There's a pen. There we go. What that does is that that resets your CMOS, your BIOS, and your BIOS is gonna be reset next time I turn the computer on. So the next thing I want to try is I'm going to take off the hard drives and see if they smell. That would be a very bad thing if they did. No. Because if they smell, that means that they are burned out and it's all done. I do see some, I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's just old or patina or what the hell that is, but it doesn't look good. Yes, I actually put this in. We don't have another one of these little fancy Dell blue cases. To save money for the customer, I ended up just screwing this guy in. Okay, gotta remember that blue goes there. Alright. So, there's actually a screw over here. And you can do this and it'll be fine. It's just, doesn't look professional. This is the best way. Yep, so there's your little screw. It just comes right out. This is a brand new terabyte drive that is required for this computer because the programs it has needs the terabyte drive. It's got some software program. Smell it real quick. Yeah, this is brand new, so it should be fine there. It's got some software that requires that much space. Well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the RAM and see what if the RAM smells as well, if there's any liquid coming out of these guys or anything. So it's 512 megabytes DDR2 RAM. Set that aside. And then we have the 1 gig. So far, if you're counting, that's a gig and a half. I think it's 2 gigs, if I remember correctly. It's been a little bit since I've been in this computer. Yep, that's another 512. So that's 2 gigs. Oh, this one is another 512. So we have 2.5 gigs, but this one, if we can see that, has some liquid there, so it looks like maybe one of these or the capacitor has popped on this. That'll be my first try. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave that out, put everything else back in, and I'll try. If it boots up, that's my problem. If it doesn't boot up, then we have a hard drive problem and it's gonna need to be reformatted. What scares me is that the money signs come up. They come up before BIOS even comes up. So it's good that I did the removal of the CMOS battery. So that'll reset that. But if the motherboard is dead, or the BIOS is dead, or whatever, it's just not going to work. And if that's the case, we're going to have to get a whole new machine. So I'm screwing this in right now. Nice and tight. Yep. To prevent any movement. So, and then this one just slides right in, because that's how it should be. And you should hear it lock like that. Blue was here, right? I think. I hope so. Blue is the shortest, so kind of don't have a choice. Come on, you damn power cable. There you go. Alright, so we've connected blue and we've connected red. Just gonna tuck that in a little bit, and then we'll reinsert CMOS. All that is just pushing it in like a button. We'll put this over to the other side, and I'm not gonna put the cover back on, because if that's not the situation, then I'm gonna have to remove it again. That's just creating extra work. Another thing, if you notice, I'm not putting in any Cat 5. Number one, my whole house is wireless, so I'm not doing that because I don't have anything. Number two, in this type of environment for testing, you don't want to do it. And I'm not going to screw that in either. Do you need a power cable? I love working on these things because it's just lots and lots of magic. It just makes this thing work. See? Look at that. Well, let's try that. See what happens. So battery voltage is low. So we're gonna have to change out that. We'll just start normally for now. We're gonna have to change out that battery, that CMOS battery that we removed. So I put Windows 7 on this for the shop. So this was probably a combination of this being the culprit and the CMOS battery being the culprit. So if it works fine, then great. We don't have to do anything else. Beautiful background for a mechanic shop. Doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. So unexpected shutdown. Next time you go online. Oh, he had a blue screen and he didn't tell me about it. This is the great thing about Windows 7. Format disk A? No. Disk A, huh? I hope that's not, well, I don't know what disk A is. Because that's my terabyte on there. Let's find out. So to do that, we go to control, nope, sorry, computer. And then manage. Let's say, well, that pops up here. Oh, man. Okay, so we'll minimize that. I always tell everyone, tell me exactly what happened. So it shows we have two disk drives, a Hitachi and a WDC. But if you see, all we have is the one. Let's go to disk management because it's a disk A. And I don't see a disk A. I see the C, the E, the system reserved. And the C, the system reserved, and the E. So I don't see a disk A. So always hit cancel and investigate because that's crazy. So alright, let's close that out. I guess we're gonna check that later. So that's it, I guess. That's all I need to do. I'm gonna return this back. He should have half a gigabyte less. So that way, if you go to properties under the computer, here we should see 2 gigs now. Yep, that's correct. Before it said 2.50 gigabytes because 512 megabytes is half a gig. So that's alright. The issue with this computer is that the customer does not turn it off. Ever. That's never recommended. I'm going to restart it just to make sure that it turns back on. Make sure we're good. Because if I can return this to the customer today, this morning, it's 8:43 Thursday. If I can return it to him as soon as possible, that's great for him. Let's go into the setup in the BIOS. Let's see what else happens here. That's not good. 2005. I'm gonna research to see if there's an update on that. Yeah. Okay. See, so that's accurate. We saw the 1 gig and then the two 512 megabytes. So that's accurate. Always come in here and check. Okay, this will cause problems. We're not in 2005, for sure. So we want to go April. Where's April? There it is. And we're at April 30th. Thursday, April 30th, 2015. And we're at 08, 45, and then we'll zero that out. AM. Good. So what this will cause is your browser, when you go in to try to, like maybe Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, it will not display the correct page for you. It'll say you know, not available or whatever, all because your time isn't correct. So that checks throughout the world, throughout the internet, so you have to have that correctly. This is your boot sequence. This is exactly how I set it. I set it to USB or CD-ROM drive because if I'm working on it, there needs to be that as a priority, number one, and then the SATA hard drive, so that if I'm not working on it, it goes right into the Windows program. Onboard devices. Hyperthreading is on. Speed step is off. Okay. We're looking pretty good. So that was weird. To turn the system on. Yeah, no. Oh, no. None of that. Maintenance, post behavior. Okay, so to exit you hit escape. And then you hit exit. And we should be good. So the next thing I'm going to test is, I'm going to shut it back down, but the next thing I'm going to test is putting this back in. Because maybe floppy disk failure. Okay, so we have to go back in and change that. Maybe putting this back in, it doesn't have a problem. Because there was another RAM stick that was in here that exploded, and this stuff that's on here now could be just from the first one. So maybe this works fine. So that's the next thing we're going to test. Penguins doesn't make sense to me, so we'll shut her down. Always when you have the ability to do a shutdown like that, do it. Pulling the cord out sounds easier and faster, but you're doing more damage to your machine when you do that. Okay, so always unplug. This stuff, it doesn't matter because it's all peripherals, so I'm going to leave it. That's all I'm doing is throwing this back in. Alright, that's in there, so you gotta just kind of push it in till you hear the little plastic clamps. Grab it on. I always check them as well, make sure they're in the upright position. Push them in a little bit as well. So, wire management, it's always good to look at wire management once you have a machine open. So, all this stuff here. Dell has opened up their newest machines with already wire management brackets included. So here, as you can see already here. So, it already looks good. This is the only thing that doesn't look good to me, and that's just aftermarket. What is that for? Oh, that's for a console and for PS2 mouse and PS2 keyboard. So again, we don't have a floppy, we don't have a second CD drive, so we're gonna go in and change that in the settings. So let's go back to power. Right, it's just plugged in. I don't know why it automatically turns on. That's just a Dell thing. It gives you a little show of the lights when you plug it in. And we're back. Okay, so definitely something with that RAM. Alright, fun. So here, I know I just said when you have a chance to turn off, hit shut down on the bottom. Here, we don't have a choice. So I can't even hit Control Delete and restart it into a boot menu. None of the F keys work, and actually my keyboard doesn't even work because you would see the light turn on there. So we can either just press and hold the power button to shut her back down, and then remove your power cable again. So what was working before was removing this RAM. So now let's see, because I have not removed the CMOS battery. So let's see if just removing this RAM, if it turns back on. We have troubleshooted that it is the RAM. And all of this troubleshooting is without any research online. It's just kind of trial and error type of deal. Turn her back on. And she's great. So that's it. This is our culprit. Let's go into the setup menu. Sorry. You hit F2, go into the setup menu. So this is definitely our culprit. So this is trash. For sure. So let's go into drives, because it's looking for a floppy drive, which is your diskette drive. So, oh man, okay. All floppy drives are disabled. So it's set to internal. It needs to be set to USB, because I'll come in with a USB to try to fix stuff. Read only is never a good one. Internal is never a good one. So USB is good. Off is not good, because if you plug in a USB peripheral like a USB memory stick or a USB CD reader, because the CD reader stopped working, it won't work if you have it off. So we're gonna hit escape. We're gonna hit save and exit. So now it should boot straight into Windows, unless it has another problem. So that was BIOS. Boom, that's Windows. Great. So we're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and discard this. If the customer wants to buy a new one, he's at 2 gigs, so I'm gonna recommend that he's fine. But if he wants the extra RAM, it'll actually make the machine perform a little better when you have more RAM. So other than that, this thing is going to be trash. So we'll shut her back down, cover her back up. What I like to do is I like to clean these. So I'll go in with the outside cover with just Windex. Windex is an all-purpose cleaner. I know it just says glass cleaner on the bottle, but Windex is actually an all-purpose cleaner. So we can go through and remove all these scuff marks off the machine, all the dust off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, but that's it. Thanks for watching, and give me some comments if you have any any opinion on this, but there she is. So, and we'll reiterate again, this is a Dell Optiplex GX620. It's a P4, P stands for Pentium, if you don't already know. Plug that. So, if there's any other computer that I need to fix here in the near future, probably that one. I'll go ahead and post up the video as well. Thanks for watching.